This is my third video on PISA test. In this video, I have explained few multiple choice and true or false questions, which I think are the general questions which a 15 years of age students must know before appearing in the exam. In this video, I have covered two topics. One is odd and even numbers, the other one is decimal. First, I have given some introduction on odd and even numbers. Then I have written few sample questions, true or false questions based on this topic. Here I am going to discuss about even numbers and odd numbers. So first, I'll define what are even numbers and what are odd numbers. Even numbers are those numbers which are divisible by 2. That is, when we divide a number by 2, it leaves the remainder 0. These numbers are multiple of 2. They can be written in the form of 2k, where k is an integer. For example, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. They are even numbers. Odd numbers are not divisible by 2. That is, when we divide a number by 2, it leaves the remainder 1. They can be written in the form of 2k plus 1, where k is an integer. For example, 1, 3, 5 onward. On the next page, I'm going to write some properties of even numbers and odd numbers. So, the sum of two even numbers is always an even number. For example, if we add two even numbers, like 4 plus 6, the sum will come out to be 10, and this is again an even number. Let me take one more example, like 14 plus 18. It is equal to 32. If we add two even numbers, their sum is again an even number. Its second property. The sum of two odd numbers is always an even number. For example, take two odd numbers, 3 plus 7, it's equal to 10. 11 plus 15, it is equal to 26. So if we add two odd numbers, that is equal to even number. If we add two odd numbers, their sum is equal to even number. The sum of one odd and one even number is always an odd number. The sum of one odd and one even number is always an odd number. For example, take one odd number, 3, and one even number, 8. If we add them, we will get 11, which is an odd number. Take one more example. Product of two consecutive numbers is an even number. Product of two consecutive numbers is an even number. For example, if we multiply 3 into 4, that is equal to 12. That is an even number. If we multiply two consecutive numbers, 11 into 12, that is equal to 132, which is again an even number. If we multiply two consecutive numbers, their product is an even number. Product of three consecutive numbers is an even number. For example, take three consecutive numbers. 4, 5, 6 are three consecutive numbers. If we find their product, that is equal to 120, which is an even number. Even numbers end in 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. For example, they end in 8, 0, 4. So they are even numbers. Odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Odd numbers end in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Like, because they end in 9, 3, 5, so they are odd numbers. Now here I'm going to write few questions related to odd and even numbers. State whether following statements are true and false. You are to explain whether these following statements are true or false. Now the first question is, let a is equal to 4x squared plus 3y cubed, where x is -1 and y is -2. Then a is even. Now let us check whether this is true or false. Now a is equal to 4x squared plus 3y cubed. So instead of x, I'm going to write -1. And instead of y, I'm going to write -2. So this is equal to 4 into 1 plus 3 into -8. This is equal to 4 minus 24. That is -20. So which is even? So true statement. Now the second question is, if a is -1 raised to power 99 plus 1 raised to power 373 plus -3 raised to power 2, then a is even. Now this is equal to -1 plus this is equal to 1 and this is equal to 9. This and this cancelled, I have 9, which is odd. So false statement. Now the third question is, product of any three odd numbers is even. Now this is a false statement. I'll explain it with the help of an example. Now 3 into 7 into 9. These are three odd numbers, and if I find their product, that will come out to be 189. That is odd. Now let me take one more example. 3 into 7 into 11, which is again an odd number. Now the fourth question is, product of three consecutive integers is even. Now this is true statement. For example, now consecutive integers are like 2, 3, 4. They are consecutive integers. If I find their product, that will be even number, which is even. Let me take one more example. 8 into 9 into 10. 8, 9, 10 are three consecutive numbers. If I find their product, that will come out to be 720, which is even. So this is true statement. I'm going to write one note here. In general, three consecutive integers can be written in the form of n, n plus 1, n plus 2. Their product is, now the product of three consecutive integer is n, n plus 1, n plus 2. Now here, at least one of these factors must be divisible by 2. Therefore, product of three consecutive integers is even. Now the fifth question is, if a and b are odd numbers, then x, which is equal to 7a plus 4b, is odd. Now this is a true statement. Now let us check. Now 7 is odd and a is odd, whereas 4 is even and b is odd. We know odd multiplying odd is odd number. Whereas even multiply with odd is an even number. If we add odd number with even number, it is an odd number. So true statement. You can also do it like this. You can also check it with the help of an example. A and B are both odd numbers. Let A is 3 and B is 9. Both are odd. So X can be equal to 7 into 3 plus 4 into 9. This is 21 plus 36. That is equal to 57, and which is odd. So I'll try to explain what is decimal, and I'll explain it with the help of an example. Suppose I have a number 675.243. There are two parts. One part is this, one part is this. This is called whole number part, and this is fractional part. Now these two parts are separated by this dot, and this dot is called decimal. So I'll write it here. Now I'm going to explain how whole part is represented. Now this is 675. This is 1. This is 10. This is 100. It is represented as 6 into 100 plus 7 into 10 plus 5 into 1. It means 600 plus 70 plus 5, and that is equal to 675. Now let us discuss fractional part 243. Now this is 10th, this is 100th, this is thousandths. So it means this is 2 by 10, this is 4 by 100, and this is 3 by 1000. So fractional part is represented as 2 by 10 plus 4 by 100 plus 3 by 1000. Let me add it. Now LCM is 1000. This is 200. This is 40. This is 3. So this is 243 by 1000. So fractional part is equal to 243 by 1000. Now I'm going to represent this number, 675.243. So what we have done so far, this is 6 into 100 plus 7 into 10 plus 5 into 1 plus 2 by 10 plus 4 by 100 plus 3 by 1000. So this is equal to 600 plus 70 plus 5 plus 2 by 10 plus 4 by 100 plus 3 by 1000. If I take the LCM, it will come out to be 675.243 upon 1000. So when you convert decimal to fraction, you write decimal in expanded form and simplify it. But this is a very tedious work. So generally we don't do this. What we do, suppose we are to convert 0.12 in the fraction. So what we do, we write 12 by 100. There are 2 digits after decimal, so we write 2 zeros, and it means we write 100. If there are 3 digits after decimal, we write it 123 upon 1000. After decimal, there are 3 digits, so we write 3 zeros, means we write 1000. Similarly, this is how we convert decimal into fractions. Similarly, if I am to write 12 by 100 into decimal form, it is 0.12. Similarly, if it is 1 by 100, it means 1, 0, decimal will come here, and we write it like this. If it is 7 by 1000, it means there are 3 zeros, 700.0. It means this can be written as 0.007. If you want to convert fractions to decimal, 9 by 2 into decimal, what we do, we divide numerator by denominator and we get the answer. and get 4.5. So if we want to convert fraction 9/2 in decimal, we divide 9/2 and we get the answer 4.5. It means if we want to convert fraction in decimal, we divide numerator by denominator and we get the result. On the next page, I'll give some MCQ examples of decimal numbers for you to work on your own. The correct option is also provided so that you can compare your answers. Now here I am going to write a few multiple choice questions related to decimal. Now the first question is multiply 0.01 into 0.02 into 0.6. There are 4 options. You have to find the correct one. Now its answer is B. That is the correct answer. Now check it yourself. Now the second question is x into 100 is equal to 4.75. Find x. There are 4 options. Find the right one. Its answer is A. Check it yourself. Now the third question is you have to find the smallest number. Now this is B. Its answer is B. Now the fourth question is find the largest number. There are 4 options. Find the correct one. So its answer is B. Now the fifth question is what should be subtracted from 7.08 to get minus 3.5? There are 4 options. Find the correct one. I'm going to write its solution here. Let x be subtracted from 7.08 to get minus 3.5. I have written the solution here. Check it yourself. Here I finishes this video. Thanks for watching it.